guys, welcome to another episode of Siyajabulelana Community Engagement Podcast. And this week, we'll be speaking to a UKZN student who got the chance to be an exchange student and went to Western Norway University of Applied Science. She's Thembeka Myeni. Hello, Thembeka. How are you today?
Hi, Sissy.
Are you good?
Good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm very well. I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. All right. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
Okay, I am Thembeka Myeni. Basically from Kohlabisa, and I'm here at UKZN doing my master's.
All right. Thank you very much. Pleasure meeting you, Thembeka. How did you find the transition from studying at UKZN to studying to Norway? How was it? Experience?
Well, it was quite good, I must say, but the environment wasn't exactly like the UKZN environment. They had a lecture for about 3 hours, but with different breaks. So it was something good, I'd say, because we normally don't have the breaks in our lecture.
Yes. All right. What are the main differences that you noticed between the education systems of South Africa and of Norway?
Like the university.
Yeah, the university lifestyle or the culture of learning that side, as well as the difference of the culture of learning the side as well.
Okay. What I've noticed is that in their side, they are using I would say their home language, the Norwegian language, as the language of communication.
Yes.
So for both teaching and learning, they're mostly using the Norwegian language. And that's quite different from our campus. We're using English. So English is their first additional or a second language. So yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Can you tell me about the courses or subjects that you studied during your time in Norway?
I was doing social sciences. We only got a chance, by we I mean myself and my colleague, which were the postgraduate students in that side.
Yes.
We only had one social science module because it was only taught in English. The other was only taught in Norwegian, so we couldn't continue with that module.
All right. Okay, that's lovely. Okay, did you face any language barriers while studying in Norway, and how did you overcome them?
Well, the first one is the module that we couldn't attend because it was Norwegian, strictly Norwegian. So we just made peace with that. We had no choice, just made peace with it. And there were also language barriers when I was in the accommodation because I was living with mostly Norwegian and it was male students, not even from my institution, from other institutions, so they mostly communicated in their own language. They couldn't even have a chat with them, just greet and do whatever I'm doing and go back to my room.
So meaning that you didn't make any friends?
No, I didn't. I only made a friend with one of the Ghanaian students in that side, and I'm still communicating with him even now.
That's wonderful. So it's not only just you South Africans that were there, but there were also other students.
Yeah, they're different people, and I think what attracted some foreign students, I would say foreign because we are foreign in that country. So I think what attracted most of the foreign students in Norway is that the country was granting free education for everyone up until I think this year or 2022. I'm not sure about the date. So there were changes. So they are now going to pay. So there are a lot of African students in that side who started their degree when the education was free for all.
It sounds like a really lovely experience. Also making relations with other people from other countries as well. What was your favorite aspect of studying in Norway?
What I liked, it's the group work. They love group work the most. So if you're struggling with something, most definitely other person will understand. So it's mostly collaboration. So they collaborate more.
Alright, So it's saying that it's something that it's in our culture of UKZN, it's something that we should.
We hate group works. I hate group work when I was an undergrad, but when I was there, it was good.
Quite fine.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you immerse yourself in the local culture and integrate with the Northern students?
Well, what I've noticed also about I wouldn't say it's their culture, but it's their way of life, like their way of living. What I find is that mostly greeting is not compulsory as in our culture. So it was quite difficult when I see them, I had to greet. And later on I realized that I'm the only one who's greeting, so I just went with the flow. So that's, and I would say it was just a clash of culture and clash of beliefs. Because they don't believe in greeting, and it's not rude. They're not doing it because maybe they're racist or rude. No, it's just how they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in terms of food, besides the culture, how was it?
They're mostly eating flour.
Oh,
They like pizza, macaroni, and they don't use spices, so their food wasn't good for me.
So it's just like
It wasn't good for me. I went with my spices because they were allowed in airport.
To carry them.
So yeah, when I was cooking, I was using my spices. And I bought the Asian spices in that side. So yeah.
All right. Sounds like a really fascinating experience as well.
It was definitely.
Right. Did you have any opportunities for extracurricular activities or travel while you were in Norway?
Okay, I had like different, I would say they fall under academic events.
Yes.
But before I go there, sorry, we went for hiking with one of the postgraduate students when they came back from South Africa, because as it is an exchange program, the universities are exchanging the students. So UKZN students were in Norway and the Norwegians were here at UKZN. So when the Norwegians came back, they took us to one of the mountains. It's Mount Floyen. Yeah, it's Mount Floyen. So we went there on hiking, and we also went on skiing. Is it skiing? The ice skating? Sorry,
Yes.
ice skating. And I was struggling, but we only organized that by ourselves. It wasn't planned by the host or the university. We just saw the site and we visited the place, and we were so welcomed. Yeah.
That's really lovely.
And also the academic sessions that I attended, I was attending one of the Sanod. It was a Sanod day. It was some sort of a conference or a workshop for Sanod, which is an organization mostly for researchers. So I was there, and we met a lecturer from UWC, and we also met UKZN lecturer Dr. Janet Javas. So I think it was good to meet in that side, because he had no idea that they are his students
As well, like seeing someone you know from with you on
It
the other
felt
side
like
as
home.
well.
It felt like home.
away from home actually.
Yeah.
All right. Did studying in Norway provide any unique insights or personal perspectives that enhanced your academic and personal growth?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
All right. So, did studying in Norway provide any unique insights or perspectives that enhanced your academic and personal growth?
Most definitely yes, because going to Norway, I would say it opened my eyes first. I was so I couldn't explore like places. I have never imagined myself going like abroad. So that opportunity sparked the interest of grabbing like different opportunities that comes to my face, and it also it also allowed me to work far from my family, to come out of my comfort zone, and like live like an ambassador. So when you're an ambassador, you want to be explored because you represent the country, you represent the university, you represent your family. So as an ambassador, I saw myself as a person to be explored, as I was also exploring the country and their culture.
All right. So if in any given chance or day where let's say there's another opportunities for you to go to another country, would you take that opportunity?
Most definitely yes, without any doubt.
You'd do that. All right. So the last and final question: are there any specific learnings or experience from your time in Norway that you think will benefit you in future in your studies or in your career?
Yes, I remember one of the days when we had like sessions or the lectures. So in social studies, not social sciences, we were doing social studies. So it was a mixture of geography, history, like sustainable development, like the social life. So I was exposed to the concept of political ecology. So I was thinking of reading a bit about political ecology, since I'm still looking for a scholarship for my niche as a scholar on what exactly I'm going to specialize with. And also I've learned a history of Norway. I've learned like a different perspective of colonialism. The history of Sami people and the white Norwegians. So it completely different from colonialism in our own context. So I would say yes, I got something that I can work with. And I have also heard that when the country or when the world was in those time for the hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Do you remember that hashtag?
Yes, I
So
remember
they
that.
also did something in Norway. They were in for the demolition of one of the statues because of the bad history the person has. So I learned that not all white people are racist. Not all like you can't get racism in like in different countries. So I think along the way in my career I can look like different I can get different topics and different research interests based on the experience I had.
Right. Sounds like a lovely and a fascinating experience, and I'm sure everyone would love to visit Norway one day if they can.
They should go there.
It's quite an experience. Thank you so much, Thembeka, and let me just leave you to it. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, so welcome to another episode of Siyaqobelelana Community Engagement Podcast, and this week we'll be speaking to aged UKZN student who got the chance to be an exchange student and went to the Western Norway University of Applied Science. Hi Lushen, how are you today?
Good, and you?
Very well. Can you kindly introduce yourself?
I'm Lushen Pillay. I'm one of the 5 undergrad students who went on the exchange program to Norway.
All right. So, how did you find the academic experience in Norway compared to your home university?
I found it a bit challenging but very rewarding.
Yes.
The academic experience is, I would say, it's more intensive.
Yes.
It's more demanding, but they do have a more independent approach towards education. There's more emphasis on the students working by themselves than there is that you have to attend 5 lectures a week and so on and so on.
All right. So, what aspects of Norwegian culture and lifestyle that impressed you the most during your time there?
What impressed me the most about the Norwegian culture was their sense of humility as a society. So they follow a philosophy, a Scandinavian philosophy called Janseloven, which basically reinforces humility amongst people and teaches them to be more down to earth and more cooperative as a society. So I found that quite impressive, and I would wish that more societies around the world would work that way.
It sounds fascinating and also interesting as well. So, did you face any challenges on cultural differences that you had to adapt to while studying in Norway?
Definitely. I found that socially, Norway is a bit different.
Yes.
They aren't as social as South Africans are because they are more reserved and introverted, I would say. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a cultural difference. In South Africa, you can just go up to a random stranger and just have a full-blown conversation. In Norway, it's a bit more difficult, but the regular people are still very friendly and very helpful towards immigrants who come to their country.
Yes. So, did you make any friends over there, like people you connect with from time to time?
Definitely. I made a lot of good friends in Norway. There's a good saying, they say it's hard to make Norwegian friends, but when you make a Norwegian friend, you have a friend for life.
Right. That's a good phrase. So, how did you manage to balance your academic commitments with exploring the country and immersing yourself in its culture?
I found that it was a bit challenging at first, but I managed to adapt quickly.
Yes.
I enjoyed that they have a more independent approach towards education. So there's more emphasis on the students taking it upon themselves to set their priorities and make sure that they prioritize their work and balance their lifestyle with it.
All right. So, were there any specific courses or academic opportunities that stood out for you during your time in Norway?
Yes, I would say my social studies course definitely stood out. I found that it was very enjoyable, especially as a student coming from an African country, seeing that their history which they learn is not so Eurocentric and it's more inclusive of a holistic perspective.
Yes.
And they are always willing to give more than one side of the story, and they also focus on issues faced by minorities or people who don't really have a platform to speak.
So, you'd rather say that Norway is more of a democratic country?
Definitely.
All right. So, how did the university support you, your integration and your well-being during your stay?
My lecturers were very supportive. They were always willing to help. There were many community engagement events where students could socialize with each other. They also encouraged the other students within the class to welcome the exchange students, which I found very, very good, and I found it very helpful and welcoming of them.
All right. So, did you have the chance to travel to other European countries during your stay in Norway? If so, which ones did you visit, and what were your experiences like?
Yes, I had the opportunity of being able to visit Poland whilst in Norway. It was definitely a very different and eye-opening experience.
Yes.
I managed to visit 3 major cities, Katowice, Krakow, and Oswiecim, which was Auschwitz. I managed to visit the actual concentration camp, Auschwitz-Birkenau, and that was a very horrific but eye-opening experience. I was able to see the horrific side of history which occurred during World War II. I was able to see the concentration camp and the gas chambers in which the Holocaust took place. So as a history student and a history educator, it was definitely a very great experience, although it was very sad and horrific.
All right. So, based on that experience, you'd say that there's a lot that you learned, and you saw history beyond the lenses of just reading excerpts from books. All right. So, what are the skills or personal growth do you feel you gained from your study abroad experience in Norway?
I personally believe that the most personal growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
So being in a completely different society and being forced to integrate into that society was where I felt a lot of personal growth. I had to adapt to their different culture, to their different education system, and I think that was definitely one of my best stages of personal growth throughout my life.
All right. So, would you recommend Norway as a study abroad destination? Why or why not?
I would definitely recommend it as a study abroad destination
Yes.
because it's an extremely, well, it's a different education system, different culture, and you can never go wrong with more experiences.
Yes.
They're very accommodating to exchange students. They have a culture which encourages inclusivity, and they're very welcoming as well. So yes, I would recommend it as a study destination.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Lushen. And it was good talking to you and also about your experiences in Norway. And I'm sure a lot of people have just learned through you and your experiences that indeed Norway is a good place to study in. And I'm sure that they'd also like to visit there on that side as well. So have a wonderful and good day. And thank you for your time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Babongile, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, so I'm Babongile Ndebele and I am a second year student at Aged Campus, UKZN, and I'm currently pursuing a Bachelor of Education.
Alright, Babongile, so how did you find the academic experience in Norway compared to your home university?
The academic experience in Norway was very different from what I'm used to, but a good kind of different. What I enjoyed the most about learning in Norway was how they encourage student and lecturer interactions. It's not like a teacher or lecturer-centered kind of education, and that's something that I really enjoyed about learning in Norway, because lectures didn't feel like just sitting through someone talking or reading through PowerPoints, but it actually felt like you're having a conversation with someone who has more insights and wisdom, and it felt like I really took something from each lesson, and that's something that I really liked about learning in Norway.
More like a lifetime experience.
Yes,
Over there. So, what aspects of Norwegian culture and lifestyle that impressed you the most during your time there?
I think what impressed me the most about Norwegian culture was their sense of friendship. Although it is really hard to make friends in Norway because of how unsociable they are, like at first, but once you make friends with them, I can say that when you have a Norwegian friend, you have a friend for life. They are very, I don't know how I can put it, but they are very caring people and genuine people, and it's just in their culture to just have humility, and that was something that I actually liked, and that was something that actually felt like, okay, this feels like I'm at home, you know, because humility is a big thing in South Africa, so it felt like I was at home in a sense.
It's more like a home away from home kind of thing.
Exactly.
All right. Did you face any challenges or cultural differences that you had to adapt while studying there?
I think one of the biggest challenges I faced was the food. Like, their food is completely different from what we have here, and honestly we have the better food, I'm sorry. But that was a struggle, because even when I'd go out to eat with friends, you know, sometimes they want to recommend something, and obviously I can't be rude and say no, so I would like try and say yes and allow them to like pick something for me, or even when we were having lunch on campus, and I would find that it just didn't appease my taste buds as much as what I was used to. It just, I really missed the food.
So it was not something that you're not really used to, but you did adapt to the
I
food.
did. Eventually I did.
Okay. So how did you manage to balance your academic commitments with exploring the country and amazing yourself and its culture?
I feel like it wasn't really that hard to balance, because per day I only had one lecture.
Okay.
So I had a lot of time to spare to do other things, and also it was easy to move around because the transport system is so efficient. So that I was able to create a balance and only had like 4 lectures out of the week. So it was very easy for me to have a balance between the two.
All right. So, were there any specific courses or academic opportunities that stood out for you during your time in Norway?
I would say that the social studies course, which I did, was something I wasn't expecting at all. It was very different from what I would think would be social studies, and it was very enjoyable because we were given a freedom to explore different type of topics, because we had an assignment where we had to do research, and we weren't like restricted to certain topics or certain, so that was something that I enjoyed. Also, the topics that we would go through were very diverse, and so it was very enjoyable interacting and discussing with other learners and hearing different perspectives about different topics.
All right. Surely you made other relations and also made friends as well along that journey. So, how did the university support your integration and your well-being during your stay?
The Western University.
Yes.
So there were a lot of international student events where we get to interact with other international students and also interact with Norwegian students. So there'd be a lot of like a paint and sip that would be organized, events like paint and sip, events like meetups, events like there was a wine event that we once had where you it wasn't speed dating, but it was like speed friending, and that was how they catered for us to be able to get to know other people from not only Norway but from other countries.
So apart from being more focusing on your academics, but they did give you time to socialize.
There was always an event
out
on campus.
Right, so it means that you really had fun on the other side.
It didn't feel like I was a student studying all the time.
Didn't feel like a stranger as well. Alright, that's actually quite cool. Okay, did you have a chance to travel to other European countries during your time in Norway? If so, which ones did you visit and what was the experience like?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't really have a chance to go to other countries, although I would have loved to.
Alright.
But no, I didn't.
Okay. What skills or personal growth do you feel like you gained from your study abroad experience in Norway?
With this experience, I feel like I came back as a different person. I feel like I'm not the same person I was, but like in a good kind of way.
Yeah.
I feel like I found myself and found just a completely different person, a person that lessons from other people that I could take with me, and also just realizing how different we are, and although we're different, we can still connect on a certain level and create genuine bonds, genuine friendships. And also it made me appreciate where I come from a lot, because I was like, you know what, South Africa is actually cool. We might not be economically the best, or there might be a lot of crime and all sorts of problems in our country, but when you look at other countries, you're like, you know what, we are actually cool. I'm actually proud of where I come from, regardless of everything else. So I just had a sense of pride about myself because of my experience.
Alright, being proudly South African and being able to celebrate the diversity and all. So, would you recommend Norway as a study abroad destination?
I would definitely recommend Norway. In fact, I would love to go back. It was an amazing experience, and I feel like everyone should experience a place like Norway once in their life. Maybe not necessarily to study, but maybe visiting or something. It's an amazing place.
Thank you so much, and I'm sure anyone who will be watching this podcast would love to go to Norway through your experiences and through all that you've shared today. So thank you very much for your time. I very much appreciate it, and also I have learned a thing or two about Norway.
I hope it's good things.
Yes, very much good things. So, and I can't wait to also go there. And thank you very much for your time, and have a good day. Thank you.